Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to be talking about something very near and dear to my heart, and that is my planner. I have a traveler's notebook set up. It's completely custom made and very unique to anything that I've ever seen on the internet, which is a big reason why I've decided to make this video, because one, I love the planner community on YouTube, and two, because I have not seen anything quite like this out there. So I wanted to share it with you and hopefully give you guys some inspiration on how you can plan your life and get more organized. So without further ado, this is it, my Traveler's Notebook Planner. This is not any brand that you can purchase like Foxy Fix or any of those other ones. This was made, I got a swatch of leather from my mother-in-law and then added in my own elastic and some odds and ends to make it a little bit pretty. And right now I have four different inserts in it, which makes it pretty chunky. So, without further ado, let's flip this camera over. Alright, so here is my traveler's notebook. If we open it up, the very first insert that we have is the month of July. Having just one insert for an entire month is a new concept for me. Normally it takes me about 2 months, or maybe 3 depending on how much I'm planning to fill up an entire insert, but I wanted to try very hard to be very diligent and specific with all of my planning. So I'm going to try to fill up a whole month in one insert, and right now it is only like the 15th today and I am over halfway. So I think I am doing really good. So we open it up. Let's see here. I've got things like my index. I do quarterly goals, so I've got goals, and then I have a view that I do of the month, but this will have things like monthly goals. And then a trick that I use, if you can see right here, I have 3 tabs along the side. One tab is for where my month is, one is for this current week, and one is for the current day in time order. So that helps me a lot when it comes to planning, because I do flip to these pages every single day while I do my daily planning. So I've got just regular spreads, weekly spread, notes and things, and then here, let's show you an example of a week. This is this week. I lay it out so that I have all of my days, my weekly goals, meal planning, habit tracker. We'll have videos on all of that as well, how I plan my weekly meals and how I do my daily habits. And then this is an example of what a daily spread looks like. I just, for the most part, will write down my daily to-do list in a very standard bullet journal fashion. Sometimes I do a little bit more intense planning with like hour by hours, but for the most part I just have a to-do list. And so that's my monthly planning spread. Then this insert is kind of a special personal one. I have it for my daughter. I love art as well as planning, so this is a really great way for me to use my creative outlet. I'll just breeze through it really quickly. I use it for journaling to her and taking pictures, things like that. So this is really near and dear to my heart, and I will someday give my children all of their journals when they are older. The next insert I have is where I keep all of my like long-term kind of spreads, things that I'm going to need for the entire year that I don't want in my monthly plans because I'm going to need them for a while. So this one, I've got year at a glance, and then I've got all of my months, just from January through to December, and then after my months, I have all my yearly goals, and then quarterly goals as they've been filled in. So we just started Q3, Q4 we haven't gotten yet, so I don't fill in the quarter until just before the quarter begins, so that I know what I've achieved the previous quarter and what needs to be transferred over and what can be added. Some other lists I have are my debt tracker, my reading list for the year. We are expecting our second baby, so we've got baby names, workouts, my fitness tracker, go-to meals, things like that. So this one gets filled in with anything that I need to access long term. All right, now that you've had a chance to look inside of my planner, I wanted to share with you some of the benefits I see with specifically having a traveler's notebook set up, and also my thoughts on having a planner in general. So one of the first things I wanted to mention is like I said in my daughter's insert, I also love to art. Gently. So if you are interested in art but you're really super busy like I am and you don't feel like you can rationalize spending hours and hours working on an art project that you may or may not ever be able to look at again, this is a really great way, because for me personally, my planners and my inserts are just treasures that I set right on my bookshelf, and I look through them really often, like 2 or 3 times a month. I'll look through them like you look through one of your favorite books, and I'll have all of these memories and all of these pictures that I can look back on and be able to enjoy and appreciate all the different phases in life that I've gone through since I started planning, which was back in 2011. So some of the benefits of having a traveler's notebook system instead of a different planner system is that really nice ability to have different inserts for different purposes. I have used a Happy Planner probably for 2 or 3 years, and I love the Happy Planner setup. I also have used other planner setups. They're all really good and they have their pros and cons, but having the ability to have a little insert for the month or a little insert for my daughter that I can carry all together and not feel like I'm carrying like 20 notebooks is really nice. And the other nice thing, if you've never done planning, is sometimes looking at like a bullet journal planner can be so intimidating because they have like 400 pages in them, and you don't know if you're going to be able to commit to that many pages. Like, what if you don't like it or you give up and you feel like you wasted that really super nice notebook? An average insert only has 60 pages front and back, so 30 pages total, 60 pages to use. And that is totally doable. Like 60 pages, that's 2 pages a day. Anybody can fill up 2 pages a day if they try really hard. And you don't have to be like me and fill it up in 1 month. I usually, if I'm just doing boring regular old planning, can spend 3 months in one insert. So way less committal. But the downside to that is if you're filling up as many inserts as I'm filling up, I have like 12 inserts for a year. So it's too many on my bookshelf. It like piles up way too fast, and then I don't have room for all the other years that I need to follow. So another thing that I forgot to mention as a benefit to the Traveler's Notebook system is the incredible customizability, not just in the inserts, but also in the things that you can purchase for the inserts. So you can purchase, there are endless companies that sell covers, and there are endless companies that sell their own inserts. If you don't want to custom make your own insert, you can purchase pre-made inserts for months and weeks and days, things like that. And you can also, like, if you get really nitpicky and you care about things like paper weight, paper quality, the color of your paper, dotted versus lined versus blank, all of those things, you can choose whatever you want. And if you get bored, say you don't want this beautiful leather cover, you can super easy switch them out into another cover, just like women have 100 purses. You can have 100 planner covers, which is really fun too. But that leads me into whether or not I'm going to continue to use a Traveler's Notebook setup in the future. I love my Traveler's Notebook. I love the cover. I love the customization options, and I love the versatility that it allows me. But I also really am intrigued by the idea of using a standard bullet journal system in a book, because the biggest reason for me is when it comes to the day-to-day scheduling that I showed you in my monthly insert, I feel a little bit confined to filling up that insert. Like, I don't want to waste paper, but I know that I need like 2/3 of an insert to fill up a month, so it's not enough for 2 months, or like I feel like I'll be crammed if I try to fit in 2 months, and I just feel really confined to what I can plan on the fly in my insert. Whereas if you had a notebook with 400 pages, you just plan as much as you want or as little as you want depending on the phase of life you're in, and you don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to fill an insert or not have enough room. So that's intriguing to me, but I also, with a bullet journal, the thing that I still can't wrap my brain around is those long-term spreads that I showed you in that black insert. My brain can't function, like I don't want to look back at my index every single day to remember where that one spread is, if you understand what I mean. So I might have to do, I've seen one of my friends who has a bullet journal. What she does is she puts all of her collections at the very end of her bullet journal, so that way she can just flip through the very last, 15-20 pages for the spread she knows she's going to use all the time, and then do her regular planning like a normal person from page 1 onward. So I might try that system come January 2020. We'll see. I will definitely follow through with this system for the rest of the year. And then come December, I'm sure you'll see a video from me talking about what I will end up doing as my planning system for 2020. So that is basically it. I would love to hear from you guys what type of planner system you use. Do you have a planner system, or are you one of those who is looking to start a planner system because you want to get your life more organized? Do you have a planner that you buy, like a Happy Planner or an Erin Condren, or do you just use a standard notebook and do bullet journaling? I would love to hear down in the comments. So let's continue the conversation, and I'll see you down below.